You right there, ladies and gents, how's it going? As you can see, I'm out on my tow rack, my wonderful Aprilia Tuareg 660, and I'm doing a little bit of green laning. I've not done any for ages, so I'm very rusty, and yeah, I'm in a funny mood as well, so I'm going to be taking it very gently today. Yeah, just want to make sure I don't do anything stupid, because I don't really feel completely dialed in, and when you don't feel like that, it's often warning signs, isn't it? So gently does it, and a fun day will be had. Now, I'm not going to do many lanes, just a few, just to well, get a feel for it again. We've still got loads of summer left, I know that. I'm not trying to wish summer away, but I do like the slimy, muddy green laning that is winter, so I thought I'd bring this out and do a little bit of green laning, just to keep me toe in, so to speak, me toe ragging.
Keep that bar, rubber side down.
Yeah, I mentioned in a video a little while back that I want to take the Motors Tractionator Adventure tyres off this bike, and put the original Pirelli Scorpion STR Rally jobbies back on it, and that's not because I think that's a better tyre for the dirt. It's certainly not. It's just because I want to be able to do better tarmac winter riding on this, and these tyres are a bit scary, a bit sketchy on the tarmac in the wet, and I imagine they'll be even more scary on the tarmac in the cold. Oh man, I've still got my touring suspension settings going on with this bike, which is a little bit vibratory. I really need to soften them all off a little bit. The front end's the worst actually for it, so yeah, I need to have a play with them settings. I'm sitting down, I'm being quite lazy, I should stand up, which will make my ride a little bit softer, even if not the bike's. Now, the water here isn't too deep, but it is quite lumpy. Made it through no problems at all. Actually, it was shallower than I thought it was going to be, but it has been pretty warm recently. We have had a little bit of rain every now and again, which is sort of keeping everything slightly damp, but it has been very hot, so I guess water has been evaporating quickly. I've been watching some videos recently about sort of adventure riding, off-road riding and stuff, just sort of out of interest, on YouTube and what have you, and trying to see if there's any techniques and stuff I can pick up. One of them was about not pointing your toes out. Now, it's something that I've always been aware of, and know that you don't want to have your toes pointing out, but it's amazing how much of these bad habits we actually do in our regular riding. It's only when I consciously say to myself I'm going to put my toes in, then I actually do. And I should not be like that. I should automatically have my toes in when I'm trail riding. It's a steep little hill, this. Not that the GoPro will show it, but yeah, like I say, going to be changing the tyres on this very soon, which will make this a better road bike for me, which will be nice for the wintry months. And what I'll be doing then is recommissioning the Beta, my 390RR, and getting that out for the mucky stuff. Makes sense, it's my dirt bike, it should be the one that gets the most dirty. And I'm hoping also that doing another season of dirt biking will bring up my skill level just a little bit, so that it's not quite so daunting being out on this on the trails. Currently my Beta is in my living room. It's my winter bike, so that lives in there during the summer, and my Moto Guzzi lives in the garage, and then I swap them around come the change of the seasons. So the Moto Guzzi will be back in my living room before too long, and that Beta will be out ready to get dirty. Get on your own side of the road, mate. what's really annoying about Wolven's Lane now is that the most difficult part of it is the bit just around the corner here where the old guy lives on the house here, because all his sand is absolutely fluffy as a fluffy thing. Yeah, with sand being my nemesis, yeah, I really struggle on fluffy sand. It's not the end of the world, it's not a big stretch, and I certainly don't struggle so much that I can't ride it, but it's just funny that the bit where someone lives is actually the hardest part of this lane since they graded it. Now, as you can see, it's all flattened out again. There is another sandy bit, but they've packed that down, they've rolled it, so it's not fluffy anymore, which I'm glad of because it makes my life easier. But it's always good to up your skill levels on the things that you're not very good at, isn't it? So I really should ride more sand just so I can find out how to do it better. So this all used to be quite fluffy sand, but not anymore, all rolled flat. Trouble is, it encourages people to go a bit faster, doesn't it? And certainly on an adventure bike where going faster is very easy. Yeah, it just means you've got to keep your speed in check, just in case you come across a horse or a mountain biker with dog walker or whatever. And there is a lot of horse poop around, and it is a Sunday, so quite high probability of running into a horse. Don't know whether he was signalling that there's a horse around here or whether it's just more bicyclists, but we will keep our speed down because you can't see what's around the corners here. He was definitely signalling that something was around here. Ah, there we go. Thank you. Have fun. The horsey people are the nicest lane users out there, I'll have to say that. They really, really are. But it was good of the cyclists to let me know that they were around the corner there. So many cyclists out today. To be honest, it's what I don't like riding at the weekends really, but I was just like, it's a day off, I've got to go and do something. All them sunflowers are kind of pretty. They must be getting towards the end of their lives now, I guess. But it's nice seeing a bit of colour out in the field, isn't it? It's going to feel bonkers when I get the beta back out after riding this thing around. It's going to be like riding a BMX. And I really, really can't wait. I think I got all bitten by the adventure bug when I first got this because it was such a different bike from my Moto Guzzi V85 that I felt like it was an enduro style bike, and in fact it flattered my ability quite a bit. But actually it's adventure biking is difficult. And you've got to pick your lanes carefully if you're out solo like I am today, and just do ones that you know you can do, which means exploring is a little bit harder because you could end up on something that is just a little bit beyond your ability and kind of stuck into it, because sometimes it's very difficult to turn around. So it was a bit of a wake-up call when I really struggled on that East Sussex ride I led. With how well graded most of the Surrey lanes are, I could literally ride this all year round. Probably on the Scorpion STR rally tyres in the majority of cases, just because they're just graded lanes. They're like driveways, a lot of them now. But I'll do my dirty stuff on the beta once that one gets recommissioned. I mentioned earlier that I was running the touring settings on the suspension for this bike. Also, I'm still running road pressures as well in the tyres, which is also probably hindering me a little bit. Not that I'm going fast enough for that to actually matter. And it's not like grip is an issue today, but it does all soften the ride a little bit, doesn't it, if you've got the tyres at the right pressures. Ugh. Second gear, we'll chug in the second, I think. I'm sitting there pulling on the bars. I know I shouldn't be pulling on the bars. I need to be digging in with my knees. But I've got short knees and they don't quite reach the seats to dig into it. I mean, they do a little bit, but just not exactly how intended with the design of this bike. Man, this is kind of a boring climb now. It's not that it's not difficult, because it's quite steep. It is quite steep. But it looks rubbish, doesn't it, with all this chipping on it. And the hazards of the chalk has gone, at least for now. I bet it will be pretty slidey come winter time though, once it all gets wet. Oh man, no dramas, no dramas. Oh, let's get a photo maybe, a photo. Got to get a thumbnail for the video, don't I? That Enduristan heat shield does look good. As does the Arrow pipe. That'll do, pig.
A few more down there.
Okay, cool. No worries. It would be nice if they let me know if they were the last one. Oh, it's warm, it's warm, it's warm. I am sweating. I do love it out here, you know, I really do. Even with our trails being relatively easy and less of a challenge, it is still a slight challenge, and it's really just absolutely lovely to get out in the countryside. Now, all you green people, not that I probably have any of them watching my videos, probably wondering why I'm on a motorbike if I want to be out in the countryside. I just do. And I'm sure everyone watching this video can relate. It's kind of cool having the auto headlight on this, so it's on its side lights most of the time, but if it detects that it gets dark enough, then it switches onto the headlight. I don't know whether it's clever enough to do high beam, low beam all by itself. It's not quite that clever, I don't think. But it's nice not having to worry about flipping switches and stuff. I don't really ride at night very often, so I'd probably forget where the headlight button was if it didn't do it automatically. It's nice that the greens have come back into all the plants, although it has been very hot recently. We have had enough rain to hydrate them all a little bit and get them growing again. I really should do some log crossing practices here at some point. There's always a good couple of logs to try it on, but I'm not doing it on this by myself because I know I'll end in tears. And there's two ways I can go here, but I'm going straight on. I've already sort of got a route in my head as to where I'm going. Yeah. And although this lane has been graded, I don't think it's been completely graded. There are some bits of it in a minute which are still quite tough, although I'm not sure, they might have filled them in now. But when I say tough, that is sort of relative. I mean, tough compared to the rest of it. Yeah, thankfully Surrey County Council hasn't got their hands on this lane yet, this part of it, and taken away the fun bits. Here we go. These are great fun when it's all full of water. Really good soggy fun riding. What we got going on here then? Nothing's going on. I thought I was going to have to dub then. Boy, but I managed to be awesome. I managed to be awesome and no dabs. Brill. This lane has been a bit of a surprise with the stuff that they've done to it. Now, generally speaking, when they grade things, they generally make them really easy. But when they did this one, it was not the same people. It was a logging company, I believe, and they just trawled and rolled mud over everything that they'd made a mess with. And now it's quite good fun. It's quite good fun. Certainly when it gets slimy, although it's so compacted now, it has changed a bit. But this lane used to be all sort of flinty. It's still a little bit, but underneath all this mud was quite a lot of sort of flinty rocks. And it was, I used to really like it. It was hard work climbing it because it was all a bit scrabbly. I was going the opposite direction from the way we're going, and then in a bit it starts going uphill again this way, and it was all rooty McTooty. But that's all sort of mostly been buried now by the layer of mud that they've put over everything. Donk. Sump plate doing its job there. Good old SW-Motech. I remember when I first got this bike, I come down here on one of the first times I took it green laning, and it was really slimy, and I really quite struggled because I just wasn't used to riding such a big bike through slimy stuff. All good fun though, all good fun. Pigeon. Oh, I'm so glad I went out. I almost didn't. I just, because like I said earlier on, I was in a peculiar mood. I was like, I don't really wanna, and I was like, nah, you're gonna be annoyed with yourself if you waste the day. So I didn't. I come out. Having some bike time is making my brain work and making me feel like I actually do things in my spare time. Oh yeah, can tell I'm unfit, definitely unfit. A winter of dirt biking on my Beta will sort that out though. Might not sort my belly out, but at least it'll get me a bit more bike fit. Alright, what's going on here? Nothing we can't handle. Move first, stick it in second. I'm really liking the sound of that Arrow. It's so nice being able to hear the bike now. It's bedded in nicely. It was very quiet to start with, not much more noisy than stock, but now it's just a nice noise. It's not offensive. Yeah, second gear on this is a much nicer gear for these trails. It just sort of fits with the revs and stuff like that. Again, I can go left. No, not here. No, it's not there, is it? It's a bit further along. But yeah, there's another way I can go if I wanted to. But I'm not. I'm going straight on. Yeah, here it is. It's really pretty going down that way, but it's not very long, and it takes me out in a place I'm not wanting to be brought out on. So if I do this one, it leads on to more lanes, and we like lanes. This is another one that they've put a funny surface on. Yeah, it's kind of feels really wishy-washy on this. It's not so bad now. I guess it's packed down a little bit harder, but to start with it was really weird. Sort of felt like you had flat tyres with how your bike was moving around underneath you so much. Lots of horses in their fields. Yeah, it's all bed in the middle, but it's still pretty loose on the edges. Awesomes. I like this lane. It's a bit overgrown now, so you can't see as well, which means another reason for keeping the pace down. But it's still nice. Nice little tree tunnel. Alrighty. Anyways, yes. If you haven't done so already, click that subscribe button. If you like the video, give it a little thumbs up. If you didn't, you can always give it a little thumbs down. And please do drop in a comment. Thank you so much for watching. Alright, you ride safe, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye for now.
Keep that bar. Rubber side down. You know, you gotta keep that bar. Rubber side down.